Paperback Pete. My next mother's tale is all about a man who writes special books like no one else can. His collection of self-help was second to none. When submitted in competitions, they always won. But Pete, that's his name, gave another genre a whirl. He chose to write a book about a boy and a girl, a novel that dealt with love and romance, with steamy love scenes whenever the chance. Now, Peter was writing his second love book, but no matter how he tried, he just couldn't find a hook. He sat at his desk, he typed, then deleted, with his hands all clammy and his head overheated. Every day he'd get up at the crack of the dawn, he'd sit and he'd think and he'd yawn, but the story and the text, well, they just wouldn't appear. In fact, he continued for almost a year. One evening he was reading the paper at dinner when he spied an advert, oh, surely a winner, a lady suggesting just a phone call away that she could grant your wishes. Come on, yes, today. Well, he didn't stop, no, he didn't even think. He picked up the phone as quick as a wink. He pressed in those numbers so precious and helpful. Oh, yes, he felt happy, yes, happy and hopeful. When the lady in question at last answered the phone, she spoke in a dull, monotonous tone.
What do you want? Come on, spit it out, and I'll make it happen without any doubt. I'm watching my Strictly. I haven't all day. Tell me your wish and then you quickly pay. By PayPal or transfer, it's easier by card. Come on, my dear, it's my fave, cha-cha-cha.
Oh, Pete, he was floundering. He just couldn't think. He felt he was teetering on the edge of a sink. She sighed and he heard her fingers tap-tapping and then in the distance the audience clapping. He opened his lips, all dry and so flustered. I'm a writer on a go-slow, he stumbled and muttered. As soon as my feet go under the table, I open my laptop all ready and able. I tap and I tap at the keyboard, but nothing. The characters are weak and the storyline shocking. At the end of the line, she and she nodded, while she reached for the remote and the volume she prodded. Poor Pete rambled on about his inability to pen, while all she was doing was listening to Len. At the end of his plea, he stopped and he waited. She coughed in the silence, then confidently stated,
Your wish, my dear, to tap with success will occur from tomorrow, so go get some rest.
He paid his fee quickly. He felt really happy. I might reach the deadline if I work really snappy. The lady hung up and sat down in her chair. She marvelled at the costumes, the stars and their hair. Cat jumped onto her lap and started to purr as she clicked her magic fingers for her last customer. Next morning, Pete woke up, all excited to go. Had the lady fixed it? Oh, he wanted to know. He turned on his laptop and opened the file. He flexed his fingers and broke into a smile. Yes, he thought, I somehow do feel a change. But hang on a mo, it's my feet that feel strange. As sure as snow's white and strawberries are red, it was clear that the lady hadn't heard a word that he'd said. As soon as his fingers began to tap on the keys, his feet started moving, his legs and his knees, and soon his whole body couldn't sit still at all as it began to respond to the strange magic call. But no music there was. No, not a sound. His feet, they continued to tap on the ground. He stood up from his desk, a grin on his face, worries of writing all gone with no trace. He twisted and twirled around the office floor, and then he sidestepped his way across to the door. He put on his coat with a choreographed air. He jumped down the hall and he waltzed down the stair. Now out on the street he continued his dance through sunshiny town. He jived and he pranced. The shoppers stopped shopping to turn and to stare at the strange man dancing like old Fred Astaire. "That's the writer," they said, "with his books in the shop. Why is he dancing? And when will he stop?" To this day he continues, but where we don't know, dancing and prancing in rain, wind or snow. But notorious he is. When they see him they greet, "Hey, Paperback Pete, how's your tap dancing feet?"